Good evening, everyone. Tonight is going to be a special night. Going live with my good buddy from the UK, Riz Khan. Just going to send some invites here and get Riz in here, and we're going to get started. Very excited to be back doing the lives. It's been way too long. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in last night as well with my guest James from South Carolina. We had quite a bit to talk about. Went a lot over what I thought was going to go over, and we were abruptly cut because my phone died. So we're going to try not to do that tonight and keep it short and sweet and to the point, like we always do. We keep it real. We got a little bit of R&R going on tonight, and it's not rest and relaxation, I can tell you that right now. It's Richie and Rizzles. Brother just sent you the invite. Let's get going.
Why does that look sexy as well? Hi, baby.
How's it going, brother?
I'm very well. What is my phone doing, the stupid bastard? Oh, there
There
we
we
go.
go. You see,
Hey, cutie pie.
how's it going, bro?
Yeah. Just, just getting on with the pal, isn't it? As I said to you,
Yeah.
slightly under the weather. Sorry, just let me. I haven't been up here in ages, and like being on the phone. So it's weird setting me up.
All right.
By the way, it's going on again. I can see you. No, sorry, you can see me, but I can't see. I can see myself, but I can't see
You
you.
can't see me. All right. Well,
Oh.
I could see you now. Yeah, I couldn't see you before, but we got that figured out anyways. So it's been
And
a while, bud.
I know, because somebody's been a busy boy, haven't
I
they?
guess so. Oh yeah, I had a lot of stuff going on, as you know. So
Yes.
sometimes life gets in the way, as you also know. So, anyways, here we are. It's been long overdue. It seems that the only time we talk ever is live. So,
Thanks,
and we
brother.
keep it real. So
Exactly. As long as everyone can see both
that's
of us, that's
perfect.
fine. To be fair, I have enough of seeing it. I'm pointing at a blank screen here, but yeah, it's fine.
It's all good.
I've even put this pink this top on just for you specifically as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Pink to make the boys
yeah.
wink. I've got the red light set up as well just for you.
Let's get the red light district going on there.
You know. So, yes, first of all, what was the gentleman's name yesterday? I didn't catch his name.
So his name was James. He's from South
Oh, yeah.
Carolina, and
Yes.
yeah. So as you know, he had a lot to say, and
Mm,
I've been following him for quite a while. He's been following me for quite a while, and again, it was one of those things where it was just timing had to be right. So yeah, he had a lot to say, and again, it's a common problem, bro, that we all know about, right? So, tell us a little bit about what's going on in your world, dude, because I know you've had a lot going on too.
yeah, obviously, some things we'll chat about off camera. We need to catch up on things. But I just wanted to say, like, to the. Did you say Jamie?
James,
Did you say sorry?
yeah,
Yeah, James. Like, I just wanted to say, big shout out to him yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. Not a problem, brother. Thank you so much for your support as usual.
I
Uh,
appreciate it, dude.
yeah, it was. It's been a bit mental because, again, as I said, like, to called. No, I'm not. I'm not on there anymore. I'm long gone, long gone. Uh, hi Nat. Hi, that's Luke. It's a bit crazy scenario because obviously, wow, Force Virginia, like it's a bit crazy because again, one thing obviously we've connected, so there you go. You're completely a gazillion miles away from me. We've got American fathers and we've got so many other things.
Yeah,
And again, it's just such a common theme.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And that there is best choice. And that there is just it's perplexing. It's like, hang on a minute. Like, okay, let's use your place, okay? Okay, maybe it might be a one-off, right? in your state, then you get to another one, you hear another story. It's called absolutely putting through. And
It's going good, man.
and by the way, what we will be doing today, Hannah, what we will be doing today, we will be opening up the floor to people as well. If people want to come in, we'll open up another box if people want to ask questions with regards to, scenarios, or if they want to give us any advice on anything. We're going to try something different.
Definitely.
But what I'm sorry, what I was just
That's actually, hey,
saying.
bro, that's why I'm wearing the glasses, because I actually caught your comment last night on the live about me not being able to multitask. And it's not because I can't multitask, because I can't see the screen without my glasses. So, yeah, we're gonna try and get people involved.
I'm gonna wait out of the ring light, so like that's why I don't ever wear, man. But but what I'm getting at is, again, as I said, it's such a frustrating conversation to have. Is because obviously we whinge and moan about mothers out there and that type of stuff. And remember, we do always say the most important thing, that it's not all mothers. There's scumbag fathers out there as well, which pisses me off so much, because of the likes of me and you and Farouk and a million other people who I'm involved with. And it's one of the most frustrating things in the world now, Michael, is the fact is we always got to be very, very careful, because it's not every single mother. Yeah. This is one thing we always say.
That's right.
And one thing you were annoying me with yesterday, and I'm going to say it on your behalf tonight. Right, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are listening, who are going to listen afterwards, hi Michael, right, guess what? This is our opinions. And if you don't like it, I don't personally give a fuck. I personally don't give a fuck if you don't like it. If you don't like it, sit in it, swing it, and jog on. I don't care. This is my opinion, and this is Richie's opinion. If you don't like it, I don't care. That's the most important thing I just want to say. But going back to what we were saying, as I say, guys, we're just going to talk for like about another 10 minutes or so, and then we're going to open up the platform. So whoever wants to jump on, please comment, and we'll try to do it like 10 minutes slots, or pending on the situations, pending on the stories, because we want to give people a chance tonight. Well, I said we haven't spoken in ages, but yes, sorry. Going back to what your conversation last night, the silver bullet, false allegations, not being allowed to see a child, and then stories. I know veteran fathers has been sharing something, and then you get other people sharing things, and it annoys me so much. It's just like, how many people try, no matter where you are in the world, like, how? Like,
it's true.
The simple thing of it is, right, if there's no evidence, nothing should happen.
That's right.
And literally, every single scenario, you, me, gazillion other people, there's never, ever evidence. There's no evidence.
Yeah. I know, and then see that, and that's a pattern that we all see. It doesn't matter, and like we say all the time, it doesn't matter where you are. This is a tactic that works, and a lot of people say, well, the system's broken. We know that that's not true. The system's never broken. The system was built that way. You know what I mean? It's built so that the family law system doesn't have to abide by the criminal law systems or the civil systems. It's its own system together. You know what I mean? And the stories are all the same. Even James said it last night. That was one of the very first things that he said, is that, these are common things that happen. And, he named off a lot of different countries as well. And man, and, these problems are everywhere. And it does become frustrating, bro, and it really does. I've been doing this for 4 years. And, there's times where it becomes frustrating, because it seems like, these things are all out there. I was just before, man, we hopped on, I was reading an article that I had talked about before. It was a National Post article from 2017 about a father in BC. Now, they didn't name the father's last name, but this was a father in BC with 3 children, 2 separate cases in the family court system. He had not seen his 2 daughters in 2 years, I believe, and he had never seen his unborn, like his son. So he had been in a system that really, wanted him to break. So the typical, he lost his job because he was paying through the ass. for child support plus alimony. At that time, it existed. In Canada, it doesn't exist that much.
Right,
But
okay, yeah.
so long story short, man, is they basically degraded him to nothing. Very much like my situation, they took everything from him. So, like a lot of other fathers that I have spoken with over these last 4 years, dude, he didn't make it. But the last thing that he did before he committed suicide was he left a note, and to that note was to the family court system. So I'd said this before when I talked about this article before, that the blood was on the hands of the family court system of Vancouver for this, because the tagline of his suicide note was "Family law needs reform," and this was in
Yeah.
2017, man. So now we're in 2023, and we're still having the same problems. We're still reading the
Yeah.
same articles. Me and you are still having these same conversations. So, like, when is enough? And
You-
I'm glad that you were able to talk, because I know you haven't been feeling it. And
yeah.
again, it's important that we have these conversations, because there's a lot of guys out there that are in our situation that really don't know what to do. So, these are the best
Right.
ways that we can help them to form that unity that's needed. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and this is why we do this. As I said, ladies and gents, we are going to open up the live tonight for one or two people to jump on. We're going to give slots so people wish to talk about their stories. Remember, this isn't a bitching session. And the most important thing I remembered is an old boss of mine who I hated his passion. Like, I hated it with a passion, sorry. And he always said something to me, which has always stuck in my mind in my more mature years. Riz, you can bitch and moan about everything that you like, anything that you like. Why don't you come up with a solution?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing these days, isn't it? Is this is why I was interested in listening to your conversation. And obviously, I've listened to a few people in the States and Canada, and obviously a few other countries, and obviously mine, the UK. And it's always interesting. I'm going to touch on something, but I don't want to get into it because it'll be a whole different ball game. Let's look at all our governments and that type of stuff, right? And I'm going to say this: it's a redundant question, okay? So it's rhetorical. We're okay to pay gazillions and gazillions in weapons aid and all this type of stuff, helping out with the people, but we can't look at our own systems. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
This
I know.
is what frustrates the hell out of me. We can have marches for things in other worlds, but like you said yesterday, and like you said as well, why can't people get together?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? If people say they're as passionate as they say they are, do fucking something about it
Yeah,
then.
I know.
Because they're not. Rich, because they're fucking not. Because they're all talk. They're all coming here and then they slate, what's it called, the other partner. Or I've seen it with men who could then try and physically impose themselves on a woman to be the dominating force. And this is why this is why women tell other women, why don't you keep hold of the kids then? Use the kids as a weapon.
Yeah.
Um, I've not really openly, publicly talked about this, but over the past couple of months, I have been talking to someone really, really well. Fantastic individual. But then what annoys me is I've seen it with my own eyes and I've heard it with my own ears. And again, I'm not one of these stupid simp men. I know how it works. I'm not a little bitch. Again, if I talk to anyone, before they say anything, show me the evidence. That's
Yeah.
how I work. That's how I work, right? And I've heard this person on the phone. And I've kind of said the opposite. Well, you need to put this bitch in his place. That's what you need to do. He doesn't deserve to see the kids.
Hmm.
And especially when you got someone like me and I talk about you and I talk about other people who will do anything in their power just to look at their kid,
Yeah.
just to see
Yeah.
them. And as I mentioned a gazillion times, and I know it's always a hard hitting thing that a mother does. She always says he's a social media dad. That's correct
Hmm.
because you've
Yeah.
done it.
That's right.
You made it into a social media dad.
Yeah.
This is where like court orders do come into place because I know you and I know a few of the individuals in here who I've spoken to. We would do anything. If we know that our kid, we've got to see them next Friday at a certain time, guess what, Rich? We will be there an hour beforehand, 2 hours beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Or, right, Rich, Riz, Michael, like Zombie, whatnot, like Farouk, whoever. Or we're offering you overtime today. It's double time. No, it's time with my kid. That's time I'm never going to get back
Yeah.
because you've gone 4 years and I've gone a couple of years without it. Because real men stand up. Real men stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Little bitches don't. So this is where I
Mm-hmm.
advise people, men and women, take control, get that power back. Because it frustrates me so much that you see these beautiful women, single mothers, these beautiful men, single fathers, and they're getting taken advantage of. And this is when we open up a new door game. This
Mm-hmm.
is where I always say, guys, refrain from porn, it's unrealistic. I said, be careful the women that you're talking to. Try not to get X amount of dads involved and all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. Do you know what I mean? What's going on here? But this is the thing. So, as I say, like, I know a couple of people saying that, but as I said, we've always got to be a fine line because it's not all the. And Rich, I know for a fact you know that some men who are absolute low lifes as well.
Yeah.
I do. And it disgusts me. Like, I cannot stand it. I want to take that individual into a room and, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like, because, as I said, you get people like us. So the thing is, we need to remember, this is where we need to be careful of social media. You've got to be very, very careful of what you do portray. What you do portray and what you do put across. We have to be very careful. I talk about the sanctity of marriage. I talk about relationships. A man, right, and I said this, obviously I'm just going to give myself a plug here. I did an interview, a podcast with Pearl, who has got millions and millions and millions of, subscribers and everything. And, sorry, you'll get there one day, pal.
I was waiting for it. I promise.
But,
I promise.
no, it's cool. My bad. But what I'm getting at is, and you know what? I hate saying this, and I genuinely hate saying this, right? I would love nothing more in the world for people, and I mean, you spoke about this, brother, for someone to fall in love, just to fall in love with someone. Do you know what I mean? Like we see on TV, and you see that shit, and I would love nothing more to see someone in the eyes go, I love you. But the figures, unfortunately, now, is due to social media presence, and due to me personally, I am shit scared to commit to someone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to make myself dependent. I'm even scared to sleep with someone these days without saying to them, I want you to text me to say that you're going to sleep with me.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and in fact, I've actually, just a heads up, actually, I'll let you aware of this. I'm in discussions with a couple of people, and we are looking to do, it's actually legally matters as well. We are actually looking to create an app, a consent app, a consensual app.
Mm-hmm.
How ridiculous is this?
Yeah.
How ridiculous does that even sound, Rich?
It does sound ridiculous. It does, but you know what? It's today's day and age, man. It's needed. Now, here, I want to tell you a story because I thought we'd probably go into this. So
we tried to do that.
Exactly. So part of me being busy, I was working for this guy, and I didn't know him at all. I met him through somebody else. Anyways, we're renovating a house, and this guy's life is kind of it's a shit show. But he's a single guy. He doesn't have any kids, so you know what? Luckily, he doesn't have kids. Anyways, he meets a lot of different women. So within the very few weeks that I've actually known this guy, and this is what I talk about, that this shit is getting out of hand and it is becoming a common problem, is within the only few weeks that I've known this guy, he had been accused of rape on 2 separate occasions. Now, again, this is because of the type of lifestyle that this fellow chooses to live. But that just goes to show you that, these are tactics that people know about. It's becoming the common thing because we're seeing only the dark sides of it. You know what I mean? We're seeing the more famous, the people that are getting accused of it are the more famous. So, it's becoming a very, very severe problem that I've been saying kind of started when Me Too started. You know what I mean? It's just kind of progressed, and everybody kind of thought that it kind of died off. That's not true. You know, because of the lockdown as well. I seen the family court system the way that it was. It started getting jam packed, and it was not just because of, you know, the way that the system had to now go from being in person to online. It wasn't just because of that. It's because of the way that society is now becoming, you know. And again, dude, it's becoming like a very common problem. Like I said, I've known this guy like a very short time, and within this short time I've known him, two separate allegations from two separate women. You know what I mean? And again, it's the lifestyle choice. You know, is, yes, I could see that you're going to run into these problems, but it goes to show you how it has progressed, and it doesn't really matter where you are. You know, I'm sure that you're reading about and hear about the same stuff in the UK. You probably know people as well that, yeah, they just got accused of that last week. You know, it's crazy.
The thing is, your whole perception changes. So I've gone from a very socially active person who's very out there. I'm the type of person. I see someone called Natalie, who was in here earlier. I've known her for many years.
Actually,
Just an example.
James, who I was speaking with last night, he's actually on the live. So
James,
you want to there you go.
Big up. Right, okay. So what I'm trying to get at is, just say for example, so me being, especially in my industry. So what I do, I'm talking to people, I'm out there, and again, you know, we're very comfortable with each other. You know, we're cuddling each other, we're saying hi to each other, we're picking each other up. Look, we've got our top up with each other sometimes, you get me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but what I'm getting at now, all of a sudden, you have to turn around and be like, hi, like fist pumping them. Instead of going for the natural cuddle, but me and you will probably cuddle and kiss each other if we ever seen each other. But you have to go, oh, hi, Nat. But there we go. So I'm saying someone like Nat, for example, but because of what's gone happened, like in my head, I'm now thinking they know, like their paranoia, like, you know, my paranoia. So I said, I've known it for God knows how many years. But like, you know, I would usually give them a cuddle. But now I don't want to give them a cuddle. Because now all of a sudden, I'm a man. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't want to. And that's not to protect them, even though, again, if we go back to the, you know, the normality, not the fucking madness of the society these days of 2023, I'm the man, they're the woman. So therefore, I should be protecting them. But no, I am protecting me from now on.
Yeah.
I am protecting myself as a man. Because, let's face facts, if I touch her, she can turn around and say sexual assault. But she's okay to touch me.
I know.
So I said this a while ago, I said it to an individual. So as you know, those who know me, you know, I work out a lot, I show off, I wear tight tops, I don't care. Like, you know, if you got it flaunted, which has always been my thing. And so I wear really tight tops when I go out, so my arms are like bulging out here. And then I turn around, and the girl like grabbed my arms and she squeezed my bum. Right, okay. As a man, okay, let's turn back the times. You would take that as a compliment. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Now, right, I want a straight answer from you. Everyone in the comments, I want you to answer, right? Now, if I did that to the girl, how would the girl react? Put your comments in. Rich?
Yeah. Sorry, dude, say that again. I was reading a comment.
So if I know I'm trying to multitask. So if I touch the girl the same way she's just touched my arm and grabbed my ass, how would she react?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You know what, dude? Yeah. I'm speechless because, you know, we have these conversations all the time, and these are common things that people know about already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they exist out there. If you can't see these things, you don't have common sense. That's just my opinion of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. The other thing that I wanna bring up too about false allegations is people really don't see to the extent that it actually goes. You know, when we were talking about, when you were talking about that, it reminded me of something that, you know, just on the dating aspect of things, right? And how that fear now comes into play. You know, that you've been already accused, right? But now think of this on the other hand as well, that really what woman out there that has decency, right? That's a decent woman that would never falsely accuse anybody. What woman is going to want somebody like us that has gone through that? You know what I mean? And has gone through the torture of the courts. Because this is something that actually got thrown at me by somebody else. And that's what they said to me, was what woman is going to want you after what you've gone through? And you know what? I actually didn't take offense to it. I actually understood it. I was like, fuck, you know what? You're probably onto something there. Because no decent woman, you know, could ever do something like that. So, you know, and in my case, well, you know, I didn't put up with it. You know, I stood up to it because that was a line that was crossed, especially when you're dealing with a false allegation towards your own child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know that feeling. So, you know, when you cross that line, it's a different story. But, you know, the dating aspect of people that have been falsely accused is like, fuck, you have no trust whatsoever anymore to begin with. And now we're coming to these conclusions, and, you know, it's not even really a bad idea that in some instances you may need to have a contract in order to have a sexual relationship with somebody nowadays.
Right.
You know,
That what you just said there, apologies, right? That what you just said there, like, the crazy thing is, a while ago, like, that wouldn't even, we would laugh that out. The thing is now, we would entertain that and we'd look at it even more and more. Like, so when I did the interview with Pearl, and again, when I seen these idiots and all these other people that do these podcasts and they're about, oh, don't believe in marriage, blah, 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 like, I can safely say right now, right, and I apologise the way that this is going to make me sound to me, like an absolute whore, right? I don't really care, because I'm giving you a life experience. I have more people in my DMs who are married in relationships than I do single girls.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've showed you a couple before, right? And I find it hilarious. What has happened to the sanctity of marriage? Yeah. Right? This is meant to be your happily ever after. This is meant to be the mother and father of your child. By the way, again, this goes to both sexes, men and women, because I know men are scumbags as well. I put my hand up. I've done that in the past. I've cheated on someone. But what I'm getting at now is these days, as I said, the society that we live in, and because of these fucking allegations, it destroys a man's life. But as we've said a million times before, how much support is there for these people who put the allegation in? But what is the support for the people who are going through the allegation?
That's right.
There's nothing. No. There's nothing. No. There's nothing in place. Do you know what it is? And I've got to sound a bit morbid here. The four walls. That's what it is. And I've openly talked about this to you, especially you and a couple of other people, that when everything is going against you in life, there's an easy way to take out. That's just to end it there and then. That's what people want. But remember this. It's not a case of I don't really give a fuck. I hate the people who think of this person, think of their kids, blah, blah. Nah, bro. Nah. You've got to think about yourself in the here and now. It's not about your child and all, because sometimes you think is your child better off. You shouldn't. But I'm just giving a reality check here. And then the mitigating factors what go with it. Too. The mitigating factors what go with it as well is if I ended my life, then that's showing that I'm guilty. That's what it shows.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it becomes like a tray that, what's it called? You know, we've got to, like I said, you know, we've got to keep going. We've got to keep going. And this is the thing, and this is why I always say we have to be very careful. Not sure about the comments. We have to be careful because there is men and there's women. And obviously, there's a lot of us men, and even myself, as I said, the fact that, there we go. So for those of you who don't know, I am a full-time actor and I am a full-time model. I actually am somebody of status. And I prove this time and time again when I go out. As soon as I say I'm an actor, I usually have my selection of females. You may call me vain, but I call it factual. Because, simple as this, if Rich works in Subway and I work as an actor, who do you think is going to get more attention? I am. This is a fact. You can't even compete with it. And I hate the fact that has to even get said.
Yep.
But now, as I said, but when I see women who get treated like scum by men, and I've seen it with my own eyes the past couple of weeks, my lord, My fucking lord. It irritates the shit out of me that this woman is begging the dad to see the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking pleading to
Mm-hmm.
see the motherfucking kids. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? The likes of us and many individuals who fight for the same cause, we would gladly flip the tables and go, we'll have the kids full time.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you want the kids, that's fine. In an ideal world, we would love nothing more than to be amicable. That's what we would love. But the reality kicks in now. Due to social media and due to the threatening presence of, like I said, all these movements, this bullshit movements, but also the fact that we have to be very, very careful. There's false allegations, but there's also women out there who actually have gone through things and they won't get believed because of women like these.
That's
Let's
right.
remember that.
And
Let's
bro,
remember that.
I've gone through that, and I've talked about that in the past. I've literally gone through that where I went to the police, and this is even before all of this, before I was gone being accused. You know, in 2014, I went to the police, and you know, it's a totally different story when you're a man saying that you were sexually assaulted. You know, and because it happened when I was a child. I needed to get people involved that I knew who were involved. You know, it became a shit show. But I can tell you right now that for a fact that does not happen with women. A woman literally just needs to say it. And we proved it last night actually with the conversation with James. You know, a lot of false allegations are actually somebody actually says, you know, they did this. You know what I mean? Or, you know, he sexually assaulted me or he beat the shit out of me. There's something, right? That's usually what we get with the silver bullet. James got something a little bit different. He got just a word, and it was danger. That's all it was. They felt that he was a danger to his child. So boom, you know, an emergency protection order, ex parte. He didn't even have to like he didn't have to be there in order for them to have the hearing. Because of the word danger. How fucked up is that? You know, danger.
I tuned in just as you were saying that, and then you explained ex parte. I've not heard of this apart from on John Wick. I've not heard of it otherwise. So I was like, what? Because again, obviously in the UK, these are completely different. Like, so it opens my eyes. So that was so interesting to me. So
That's right.
obviously over here, it's like an emergency application where you're not made aware of, which is obviously the similar scenario. Oh my lord! As I said, Rich, like I said, you know, the thing is, it disgusts me. The fact this is what we're getting at, right? This is what we're getting at. It's not a case of we're having to go at men and women, right? It's a case of we're showing facts. This is statistical facts. A man could turn around and say this has happened, right? But a woman says it, and she will get believed. This is factual. So again, I go back to the analogy of I said I was in the nightclub and the girl grabbed me. If that was a couple of years ago, I'd be like, that's a compliment that. Come here, babes, I'll take you home. You know, being the old, you know, the palette, that's a compliment. But now, there we go. As somebody said, that'll be turned around sexual assault. Or if not further now. And then she will get believed because if I did it in front of a group of women, grabbed her straight away, her friends got, who the fuck you are? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
But she's okay to grab me. She's okay to hold me. But if, for example, I was with a partner, do you think she would do it then?
Yeah.
No, she wouldn't. So,
and like James said, man, like, do you ever notice that a lot of the serious ones, they never make it to criminal court? You know, they drag it out, and it is true. A lot of these serious allegations, they don't make it to criminal court. You know, a lot of them get dealt out, for one, and I went through that as well. Like, my lawyer wanted me to plead guilty to a simple assault just to get it over with because he was a legal aid lawyer. And I was like, fuck you, I didn't do anything. Like, I'm not pleading to anything. I will take it straight to court. I'll lose that way if that's what it took. But I am not pleading to something that I did not do.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, and I stood my ground on it. And thankfully, yes, you know, I worked on my own case. So, you know, I had direct access to the Crown Attorney's office that was trying to prosecute me for these allegations that I did not do. So, you know, a lot of people don't, I don't know, but it's a process that, if we don't start doing something about what's happening with false allegations directly, it's going to keep getting worse. I know a lot of people think, with advocates and everything, we're trying to advocate for equality, which is true. And most people think, well, it's 50-50. That's what's going to help. I'm seeing even in the U.S., and I know, both of us are not there. So in the U.S., for example, there's been a lot of states, I think 5 or 6 now to date, that have gone with 50-50. Now, what's missing from 50-50 is not anything that is really out of the ordinary that's going on directly now. What they're leaving out is the fact that most states anyways, there is a 50-50 if you read directly into it.
Right.
They just don't, and that's directly where I am in Ontario. If you read it, it's not in black and white directly, but it does imply it. So there's an implication that 50-50 to each parent is the right approach in Ontario. It does not state that 50-50 is mandatory, right? So it gives the option. Now, this is what's happening everywhere. So this is why in the U.S. they've tried to pass these laws. Again, though, what's missing from these laws and what's missing from the majority of the cases now that are going forward? It's false allegations and it's parental alienation, which are two things now that we already know about. This has been going on for decades. Me and James, again, talked about last night about an article that came out in 2009 that I spoke about a whole thing that went into parental alienation and how it's sweeping the nation and this and that. But that was 2009. Now we're in 2014. Or, sorry, 2023.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
So have you been getting anything?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're still in the same situation. So these things don't change, regardless of whether 50-50 is out there or not. It still doesn't stop a liar from walking into a court and destroying somebody's life. We both know that for fact.
This is the thing, as I said, what a couple of people are saying there is, one thing I just want to reintegrate, okay? We need to remember, what's it called? Yes, obviously, so like the likes of me, Natalie, and a couple of other people, we are from the UK. But this is something which I found baffling, and obviously Rich and a few others have explained to me. So obviously the likes of Canada and obviously the likes of America, they have different states, whereas we are UK. So the laws are throughout, whereas obviously in the States it's per state, isn't it? Different laws, which I still found perplexing to this day.
Yeah.
And I know that yourself as well in Canada, you've explained it in yours as well. But for us in the UK, it is the same rule all the way through. There is no differences. Mm-hmm. Over here, going to what Natalie says, that's where I'm going to contradict slightly. I understand what you're saying, but my own personal history, as I say, I've gone to court. There's been no evidence. In fact, I've had evidence against her, which is quite renowned about talking about on the podcast, for Christ's sake. It's got over 4.7 million views. Not that I'm saying anymore. But anyway, you have her, Rich.
I swear.
But what I'm getting at is, like, it's the simplicity of the fact of... Somebody said in their comments, document. Agreed. You should. And I'm going to move it on slightly, and then we're going to... Whoever wants to jump up on the call, which is in charge, which can decide. But what I want to get at is, okay, let's try this now. So the conversations that I kind of want to aim towards, because we do kind of get repetitive about false allegations and everything. I want to talk about a serious thing. So here we go. So for those individuals who have been done with false allegations, etc., and you always hear, and I would say to you, you would say to me as friends, if you broke up with someone, they always tell you, don't they, delete everything, delete the memories. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. But look at me, I've kept evidence from 7 years ago, hence I'm still here. What I'm getting at is, do you still keep everything, even though you're with someone else now, to keep your own protection, to protect yourself? And obviously we're going to get people up. But if your current partner wasn't happy with that, how would you feel in that relationship then? Do you understand what I'm trying to get at?
Would you what would you drag it out? Is that what you said?
So basically, if I get into a new relationship and I know I've got a baby mama who's going to cause me havoc, okay? She sent me lots of text messages, videos, sending me abuse, but also there's lovey-dovey stuff on there. Yeah, Matt, thank you. Right? What I'm getting at is, if you were to get into a new relationship, would you delete all the memories and move on with life? Or would you still keep everything to cover your own back?
Oh, I would definitely keep everything.
But what if your current partner was not happy about it?
I've gone through that, dude. I have actually gone through that, and you know what? It's something that you just got to deal with. And yeah, again, it's about, if you have those instincts that are telling you that you can't trust it, so you need to keep it, then you need to keep it. But maybe everybody's different. That's for me. I've gone through it, so my opinion is different than somebody else's that hasn't gone through it.
I agree with you totally, and a couple of other people agree with us. I would keep everything to the day I die.
Yeah.
And again, the reason I am still here right now, 2.5 years after the allegations, fuck yous, what's it called? It's all done. Is for the simple fact is I kept everything.
Same here.
I was with somebody. She was not happy with it. But guess what? I'm glad I didn't listen to her. Because sometimes
I agree.
Yeah, because when you get in relationships, sometimes people might think it's about the pettiness of one another. It's not about the pettiness. It's not, you're holding on because I adore and love you. My fucking Lord, if this woman was on fire, I wouldn't even piss on her. Like, that's how brutal it is. Like, okay. But, yeah, exactly. So I've got mine. Again, I'm not saying have it on your fold. Like, mine is tucked away. It's in the clouds. It's in everywhere. I've got it stashed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when I met somebody, I turned around and said, no. I don't want you to take my word for it. And I advise this to anybody. If you go into a relationship and if you see a future, and again, for people who've gone through false allegations, it has a huge effect. Mentally, physically, again, it's traumatic. It's traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
When you get into a relationship with somebody else, it's kind of mad. Like, I've heard of a bit of this. I've read a few case files as well that you could be the you could be the most sexually active individual in the world, but when you've had these allegations against you, I can safely say you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even in your thinking anymore. To even have a conversation with a female anymore is a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different ballgame. As I said, I've become distant.
Yeah.
Because of the way that just I've been treated.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, this is someone who's your baby mama, it's your wife, your husband, whatnot, the future. You're allowed to have trust issues, remember that.
Yeah.
When you jump into another relationship, and I was always advised eventually, not immediately, small steps, is build that trust with one another. Small steps, get to know each other. And then if you believe that this person is the one, and again, I'm going to put my hands up, I said, don't get married. I don't believe in marriage anymore. I can safely say I do not believe in marriage anymore. I said this last night, I don't know if you've read the comment, and I say this on the podcast, and I've heard it from someone, so I copyrighted it from someone. If a relationship or a partnership, if they want a commitment, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to advise you one thing which will save your relationship. Take out a Netflix contract. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Take out a Netflix contract, because at least with a Netflix contract, you can break out of it any time you want. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll still be able to hold your own balls. That's the difference.
Yeah.
If you get married, take your house, take the cars, take the money, take the kids, take your dignity, take your self-respect, take everything. See. So. Yeah. Natalie, that was the fucking issue. Right, whoever wants to jump up. Like I said, me and Mitch will take the calls.
Yeah.
Let's have a little talk show host tonight. And who knows? I wonder if I'm actually going to get to see somebody. He showers with gifts. That was the problem. But that's the thing, Natalie. Actually, I've done this. As I said, I go to London quite a lot, and uh, again, it goes to the whole thing of who buys, who pays on the first date,
Yeah.
who pays on the first date.
Yeah.
It's always interesting. So there we go. Rich, what about you then? What would
Again,
be your philosophy in that now, Dad?
again, bro, I like the rock, paper, scissors idea.
Ooh,
Rock, paper,
okay,
scissors.
okay, I'm sure.
Hey, you know what, dude? I can't really say nothing. I've been on both ends, and I can't knock it because, again, I've been on both ends. I had a girlfriend that, yeah, she bought it, paid for all the meals, but again, it was like, okay, but I'm not, in my defense, I would be like, well, I'm not asking to go to these places. If you want to go to these places, then you pay for these places. Especially when there's to me it's a money issue, you know what I mean? So it just really all depends, bro. Like this day and age, and again, we've gone through all these different changes, being the ages that we are. I'm 44 years old, so I've seen many different changes over the years. And women have gotten equal rights when they definitely were deserving of being treated equals. And now we're seeing a difference and a shift, and these are the types of things that we talk about, where now we're seeing that men have to start fighting for these equalities. But when I talk about men, I mean like men, not not the simps that we talk about, the men that are actually going to take action on these things and do something about it. Not the old, not talking about it in keyboard warriors or internet warriors, what do you want to call them? But it, that's why when I started A Father's Truth and I started even doing these lives, it's very clear that everything that I portray with the channel and everything is the truth, and it's all about opinion. It's a truthful opinion on real facts. So that's what we talk about here all the time. And I want to tell you that from the talk last night, and I sent this to James. I woke up this morning and I didn't think about it too much, really. I didn't even tell you about this. The talk about James, and we got into a little heated, not within ourselves, but within the fact that we have a lot of these men out there. And when I first started with all of this, it was groups, and I've seen a lot of men that we can't be crying about these things online. We have to be tougher about these things. Yes, they happen to us, but we have to not be victims of this. That's the very important part that I think a lot of people don't realize, is that we can't play victim to this. You have to be warrior. You can't even be survivor of that. You're going to go through those stages, but you quickly have to get out of those stages and battle through it. So, I woke up this morning, we had the heated arguments and, discussions about how there is a lack of it out there. And there was maybe a few names that were dropped. And I woke up this morning to my Facebook page having a request for delete somebody. So, that quickly made me think, well, now I got to change all my passwords, blah, blah, blah. But, it goes to show you that once you get to that line that is crossed, and we've got to that line. Once you get to that line that's crossed, that you can't turn back on these things, and you start voicing your opinions, people take huge offense to that, and we got to stop doing it, man. We got to stop doing it to each other, because that's what's killing it.
Hi, Jessica.
Yeah. So getting at it is, with all of these changes, we need to start taking what the feminist movement did to get what they got. We need to start taking that and demanding, not asking, not crying about it on Facebook, not crying about it on Instagram, demanding these things. That's what people are getting wrong. Yes, we can talk about it all the time, but demand. You can talk to your MPs, but instead of asking, you need to demand, not, asking for a response back, demanding responses back, demanding why that they're not listening, demanding why this is happening, demanding why that somebody's not being charged with perjury. Because once more people start doing that, that's what it's going to take. You know, there's a case I didn't get into it that much, but with the killing of the family court judge, that's not what it takes.
I didn't really want to get into this, right? So, is it called Bill, Veteran Fathers, is it, yeah? So he sent me something, and I overheard you two last night talking about this.
Yes.
And then 3 other dads sent me something. Okay, right. So have you just have you just nailed it on the head there? So basically, this was, okay, no, it's very disrespectful of me to say. You say what you're going to say, sorry. Tell me what actually happened.
I don't have a lot of information on it, to be honest. But what I do know is that, you know, there was a decision made in a family court case, obviously, and the father took revenge on the judge. So then there became a manhunt, right, for him. Apparently, from the update that I got from Bill today, he was found deceased. I'm assuming that he committed suicide. I can't confirm that, to be honest, but that's my assumption, is that he committed suicide. But, you know, that's not what it takes. But that's, you know, that's what I want to say with blood on the hands, is that people really don't realize to the extent that it can damage a person's psyche when it comes to that. You know, when you're false, especially when it comes to false allegations. But yeah, you know, and again, it is becoming a common thing. So, you know, when are they going to do something about it? It's not about 50-50 anymore. Really, it's not about equality anymore. It's about tracking down on these fucking liars that end up ruining somebody's life, or you know, they end up taking their own life because of the lies. That's what we have to start looking at. Like, how hard is it, dude, for a judge to look at the criminal code in a family court case? But they don't. And you can ask why all you want. You'll never get a direct answer, because I have asked why multiple times. And
yeah, Michael, I think of that.
You know, all the answers that I ever get bypass and wiggle around the actual question in hand. Why is somebody allowed to make a false allegation and get away with it without being charged with perjury? Why are we allowing that?
So, okay, so kind of like, so again, this is where we need to be kind of careful again, because we've always got to be a fine line, because we can come across like, you know, misogynist, and we can come across misangry as well. You are right, there is certain things that, you know, there's limitations. That there was a first, no matter where in the world. As you can see, I'm quite taken back by that, actually. I'm actually quite taken back. Don't get me wrong. We all think something when we're in family court. I think the worst. Like, we would not be human if we weren't. And so that's kind of taken me aback. But what I'm getting at is is like, I've read of men killing themselves because they don't get the correct outcome of family court, suicide, etc. But I want to touch on something what Natalie's just said there as well. Is you are kind of right. So, you know, I want because again, what we've got to be really careful of, like, ladies and gents, is when we do these lives, we've also always got to be careful that there is the opposite sex as well in these lives. And remember, regardless of what we may think of them, they are our baby mamas. You know, they are females. We have to reprocreate, etc. We need to remember this. So sometimes we need to be careful that not every woman is well, my favourite word is a C word. I'm not going to say it in the pants. But you know what I mean. I'll let you break it down, right? But, so, what about women dealing with narcissistic, abusive men?
Something about Tuesday, I think.
Yeah. I get nothing back in return. I'm craving to be I just clicked on that. I'm craving to be loved by the ones I love the most. You see, oh, people just love bomb. You see, this is like, so, I can give a male perspective of this. I understand what you're getting at, because I know I have females. I will, as I say,
I do too.
Like, so, like, go on, Rich. Go on. You kind of answer to that. I'm just eating this fudge, but carry on. Well, you kind of reply back to that because basically what I'm trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is we want to show that look, every man who isn't like who is who's a father's advocate is against women, and for those who are against all women, watch yourself because remember we do need the support. I'm in groups and there is support and mothers in there, but
Mm-hmm.
don't forget, I know deep down you people know that there's scumbag dads out there. I know a few.
Yeah,
And as I
I
said, I
do
met them
too.
recently who I want to kick the shit out of, but I won't because something else will happen. But so we've got to be careful. But yeah, going back to like Natalie's question, which is very, by the way, I appreciate that. So go on, what do you think? We need to reach out. Have to flag on the friends relationship. So the whole narcissistic behaviour then, controlling behaviour. What would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
I've been.
Say you're my bitch. See how this works. And like, I'm gonna paint the scene, okay? We've got the kids. You're not allowed to have a life. I want to check your phone before you leave the house. I don't like the clothing that you wear. I emotionally manipulate you. I don't like your body.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like your hair. Don't like your beard. Fucking hell, sounds like my true story. Like sounds like a life story. This, but you love them. You're connected. You've got a bond with them. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This is just a hypothetical scenario I'm coming up with. But you can't live without them. Rich man, what do you do?
I don't even know, because like I
Okay.
guess I've kind of been in that situation a little bit.
Mm.
My ex-wife love bombed me. I've been in that situation just recently,
Go on, tell us.
you know.
Tell us.
So with the love
Okay, so what do you mean by love bomb? So what do you mean by love bomb you? Tell me that. What do you mean?
with
You
love
know with me you're gonna work you know you're gonna work with me, baby. So come and tell me.
about the love bombing, it was
Yeah, do
just,
it.
yeah, just everything. The constant need for attention, um, the constant showering of gifts, everything was pointed towards that. And then there's a time where then it's switched. Then the actual mask falls off, and then you see the actual person that's behind the so-called love that's supposed to be there, and it's not. And like, this is what I talk about, and this is probably the hardest thing that men have when it comes to talking about this type of stuff, is that, yeah, maybe this doesn't happen a lot of times to men, but it does happen. Where I've actually said it to my friend that, yeah,
I'm
normally
not
this
doing that.
stuff does happen to women because it's women that are talking about these things. Oh yeah, the man did this, the man did that, and I totally do understand it because I've gone through it as a guy. But it's, yeah, dude, it's tough. And then then you become like, you're the problem. That's how it's portrayed, right? Because they've love
Yeah.
bombed you, blah blah blah. And then now they started mistreating, or sometimes the mistreatment's not even severe. It's just kind of ignoring, not even acknowledging. Because maybe you're not meeting their expectation anymore, or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. Because everybody's going to be different when it comes to narcissistic abuse. That's just something that it's fact. And really, we already know this, that everybody has a little bit of narcissistic in them. um, but you see the true colors of these people that love bomb, um, once they feel that, I guess, they're done with you, or it's just, uh, it's up for them. That I don't know what else to say, because I'm not that
No,
person. So
no. I appreciate you for sharing that, Janine. I appreciate that. I know it's a bit of a tough one to put on the spot. And again, ladies and gents, I appreciate the questions that you are asking. Obviously, this is just our opinion. So please remember that it's our
mm,
opinions. We're not experts. We're not certified by any means. Just certified batshit crazy exes. That's the only thing we're certified with. But the one thing that I would, so I know this is easier said than done, and I apologise for that cliche, and I don't really apologise that much. One thing that I would always say to anybody who's been in relationships is know your worth. I know it's easier said than done,
Mm-hmm.
Matt. Again, apologies for the cliche, is know your worth. I know sometimes, and I'm going to use relationships, couples, marriage, family life, okay? No matter what you do when you're in a relationship together, you do everything in your power. You should. You should. Not now. I think people give up too easily. Okay, I'll get into that in a second because I just got a tangent about that. When you're in a relationship, again, going back to the years, especially when you've got family together, you've got a house together, whatnot, just talk, communicate. The most important thing in a relationship, it's easier said, is communication. But remember also to have a private life as well.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to confess your deepest, darkest secrets to everyone. If you do, then my lord, get hold of that partner and never ever let them go.
Yeah.
That's what I can safely say about that one. Okay. What I'm getting at now is we talk about narcissistic abuse. We talk about all these red flag cliches which women
Mm.
have found all of a sudden. Okay, I'm hearing more fucking cliches these days. I get bored of it now. Like, it's not, it's just, it's all shit. Let's face facts. But remember, when you're in a relationship, you're right. Let it all out. Like, you're right, because what we've got to be careful of sometimes. So, I use this analogy to someone, right, and I found it so crazy, and I got some really, really interesting feedback, and I'm very intrigued to hear what people say about this one. So, Rich, I'm going to say to you. So, again, this is where I don't paint myself in any good light at all. So, a few months ago, I was in London, and I went on 10 dates in 14 days. Okay? Yep, I'm a slag. I don't really care. The reason I did it is because, again, it's called building my confidence up, especially when you are being publicly
Mm.
humiliated. Remember, what's it called? Nationwide,
Yeah.
if not worldwide. Let's remember, and I'm a nobody
Yeah.
in irrelevancy, right? So I wanted to kind of build my confidence up in a place where people know me, but they don't know me. But one thing that they do know is my status because of my Instagram, because of whatnot, because of what I do. My status is the one that got me dates. So
Mm.
I use that to my advantage, as I do. So therefore, the pros and cons will come with that. He's an actor, he does this, he does that, he does this. Fantastic. So I was going out with every colour skin you can imagine. I was going out with every colour of skin. Okay, no, I'll be a bit vain. Maybe, I'm going to be fattest here. No, fat girls, stay away from me. Don't really care what you think. Stay away. For some people, but not for me. Okay, I want to go to a buffet and be able to save money and not have to pay it over. But what I'm getting at is, okay, so if my girl went to the bar and she got chatted up by a guy, what would be your reaction?
What would my reaction to that be?
Yeah, so she's at the bar, you're chilling, you're sat over here somewhere, and then you turn around, she's at the bar, and some bloke is chatting her up.
Yeah.
Do you get up? Do you leave it to it? What do you do? What do you do?
Mm. Mm. Do you want my honest opinion?
Do
I
it
would.
because
I would just fuck
what?
off and leave. That would be it. I'd be done.
No, but you would fuck up and leave if she entertains it, though. Yes.
Yes, 100%. I'd be gone. I'm not going to waste my time with that. Why would you waste your time with that?
Fantastic answer. That's the right. Okay. Now I'm going to flip it. Now we're going to go back to what Natalie said. Okay. And what a few other people said. She's at the bar. We are men. Let's put ourselves in the man's shoes. A beautiful girl goes to the bar. A man is there. He sees a girl by herself. He's got a compliment and chat her up. The usual characteristics a man does to engage a woman. Then a woman says, I'm not interested. I'm with my man over there. Yeah? That's true love right there, yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, now, here comes the curveball. Now, what if I came marching over, big man, came marching over, I said to her, who the fuck's this dickhead? Think about this carefully.
Mm.
She's just having a polite conversation. We don't know what. but it's the male, it's the alpha in us, the jealousy, the default, the male alpha male in us. And this guy could be asking him a harmless question, where's it to go next,
Yep.
whatever, any good recommendations. But because of my insecurities, I come over and I say to her, what the fuck do you think you're doing? What are you talking about? What are you talking to him for? Now, how does that look?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I get it. I would not do that. I would be like, what's up? Because, yeah,
Do you see what I'm trying to get at?
I get what you're saying, yeah.
Mad, isn't it? Mad.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I'm getting at is, okay, controlling fucking behaviour, okay? But if you are confident enough in your relationship and you are confident enough in that woman or the man, you should be like, I know she's not going to do anything. I apologise for my crudeness here, but I'm going to be like, yeah, she's going to come home and sit on this dick. Like, that's my mentality, okay? Like, that's my mentality right there. But now, if I do it that way, then all of a sudden, now just imagine if another woman sees that. How does that make? Then she goes to the toilet and the woman says to her, are you okay, babes? Are you sure? I'm just saying, I'm treating you like a dickhead. Do you need any help? Do you want me to forward anyone for you? And then it drags on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What people need to do these days, is my honest opinion, is obviously the trust. If you don't trust someone, get the hell out of the relationship. So I had this conversation, even a text message, even entertaining someone is cheating to me. You should shut that shit down. You should shut it down immediately.
Yep.
That's what you should do. And again, I am learning from my own mistakes in life. And this is something I would like to project. Whoever fucking gets me, right? And it's a blessing for them if they do get me. Don't ever fight over a woman. So what I was getting at is, when I went on these dates, and I just wanted to ask, I wanted to find, I wanted to feel. One of the women specifically, she turned around, and so I asked her the question. The reason I did this, I know it's a crazy thing, but just have a little think about it, ladies and gents. It's just, you get to see someone's opinion. Well, I don't opinions, but I want to see how it works, the red flags or not. Then one of the girls, she turned around and she goes, no, I would want my man to come over and tell him to fuck off. So what? You want me to come over and start a physical confrontation with this person because of your ass?
Mm-hmm.
No. Because if you cared and loved me enough, again, you'd be like, thanks, but no thanks.
Yep.
I'm your man, you're my woman. That's the way it should be.
Yep.
Right. It's always amusing when I put my hands up in the past, when people cheat. The first thing that a man wants to do is beat up the guy. That's what they want to do. But ladies and gentlemen, a big reminder, it takes two to tango. Remember that a woman sucked the dick. Remember that. The woman sucked his dick. Remember that. And the man just did it. So why are you blaming that other man when you probably did it before? Anyways? See what I'm trying to get at?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about accountability. And yes, a real woman, thank you so much for that, and a real man should be able to hold their own. It's gone out, Jace. The most important thing is what I'm getting at. Is again, when you're going through as much as we all have in life, family courts, whether it's building up trust again, whether it's relationships, whether it's a one-night stand or whatnot, confidence is key, and it does take time to develop that. Trust is key. It takes time to develop that. But remember, the key mitigating factors is that you should be able to, I said, I should be able to sit down. Oh, Rich, I'll go to the bar. It's my turn to get a few drinks. Okay, I'll just stay here. And then I'm going to get my phone out, as you do, send a text message for, she's amazing, this girl, look up. And she turns around and she says hi. But then when I look up, I see a guy talking to her, which, by the way, as a secure male, if I see my girl or my date getting chatted up by another male or female, right, I would be complimented by that because I am secure. Because the reason being, damn, she's mine.
Hmm.
Just a bit of an insight of my thinking.
Yeah.
But as I said, if she entertains them, going back to what you said, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah. See, and uh, I was, I wasn't gonna talk about this, and I really wasn't, because I don't
Do
like.
it, do it, do it, do
So,
it.
so again, it was about the past relationship, and you actually know a
Oh,
little bit about it, but
yeah.
you know, it was a
I love you.
situation where the love bombing was there, and I didn't want to take it as a red flag. I really didn't. But even before the relationship started, I didn't want to get into relationship because of the trash issues. But dealing with narcissists, man, is sometimes so, yeah, it's, the love bombing and whatnot. And you said it a little bit about, the trust, and how, you shouldn't have that worry if you have that trust with that person, that, yeah, it doesn't matter because they're mine. And I had that mentality, bro. And it kind of fell before my eyes. But I do have a little bit of gift, and it kind of something knocked me on the shoulder, and kind of told me I needed to be aware of what was going on. So again, part of all this trust issue, right, that we unfortunately all have when it comes to being falsely accused.
Mm-hmm.
You start protecting yourself. So, I starts taking screenshots and this and that, so that it could never be denied, because, I've already gone through that, and we talked about it, a little bit about the document, and that is part of it, and I even had a friend of mine that said, why would you hold on to that? We talked about why, you know, because you never really know. And when you're dealing with
Uh-huh.
people like this, you actually have to. So yes,
Yeah.
I kept it. I still actually have it. But
Good.
I documented it, and I kept I I kept it real, because again, with love bombing and dealing with a narcissistic person and something like that, you they want you to think that it's your fault. So there was those thoughts, and it was like, no, this is not my fault. This is your fault. You're being a sneaky bitch behind my back, and you're on the face of things being supportive. And that's not true, because I have conversations that say otherwise with your friends. So that this is not, you're being deceitful.
Mm.
And now the mask is starting to fall off, and then within the last few weeks of our relationship, that's actually when I found out that there was another dude involved. So that's when I brought up that the fact that I didn't have that worry at first, but that now, so now it's here, you know what I mean? Again, it was the document.
Yeah.
Now you know the lengths that I took. As soon as
Yeah.
she never actually did to this, and even to this day, bro, has never taken acceptance for it. You know what I mean? It was all put on me. Now,
What?
again, because of what I've gone through, dude, I become an easy
Being that.
target. And I tell this to people all the time. You're an easy target when people know that you've gone through these situations before, and they're that fucking type of person. So they're going to take advantage of that, and they'll use it against you, and you become an easy target for it. So, then now everything becomes your fault. Oh, well, you led me to that. You did this. Sure, I did. You made your own decisions. You decided to talk shit. You decided to now talk with somebody else. And yeah, I came to the point where I'm not dealing with that. So as soon as I found out that the relationship was done, and we had that conversation that it was done, I got out. And the situation that I had. Like
Yeah.
I hitchhiked 500 fucking
And
kilometers,
the
uh,
whole, the fuck.
um,
Mad really talking about.
for never doing something like that in my life. It was a crazy story, and it will be documented one day. But
Yeah.
it just goes to show you that, when you have that trust issue, dude, and you don't see those flags, and you've already been through it. Like for me, I've gone through that before, so I should have seen these things. And I was dealing with another situation that kind of put me under for a bit. So it was like, okay, well, I didn't see it then, now I see it, so now I need to do something about it. And I walked away from it. Whereas a lot of people in that narcissistic abuse relationship, they don't. Is they continue to stay in it, you know, and those are things that I understand as well, because, you know, I've gone through that as well, and I've spoken with people that have gone through it as well. That's where I'm getting, I do understand 100% what Nat is getting at and what she's talking about, because yes, it does happen. And yeah, you know, it does happen to men as well, is all I really want to say, is that it does happen to men as well. And men do understand that these things happen. I understand that dudes do this too. You know, my roommate has gone through the same thing. She's a woman, she's a mother, she's gone through these type of situations with men. You know, it's a thing that, you know, a narcissist doesn't have a gender. You know.
So, yeah, no, this is what's bad in life. I'm also, again, I'm going to do my bad and put my hand up here as well. So I have heard the term love bomb before, but I didn't actually know what it meant. So whilst I'm always focusing, I wasn't being rude. I was actually just Googling the terminology of love bombing. And
tell me what Google says. Tell me what Google says.
So I'm very interested. But going back to what, like you said and what Nat said and what a few other people have been saying tonight as well, this is it now. Once you've been in there, it's like, how do you move on? Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? It's mad. Like, okay, so, okay, this is a mad one.
You are right, Matt. Sorry, I just read your comment. You are exactly right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not an easy escape. It's not.
That's what I'm saying. You still on the same way. That's what I was trying to get at. Okay, so what are the 3 stages of love bombing? This is interesting. So again, this is the first time I'm reading it and actually looking into it with you guys. Toxic relationships have 3 main stages. Fuck. Idolizing, devaluing, and discarding.
Boom. And
wow.
Isn't that kind of what I said? And that's actually my last relationship to a T.
Oh.
Was the idolization, where, you know, she on the appearance of things, she was totally into everything that I was doing as far as the advocacy. She totally got it. And then, you know, with my spiritual beliefs and meditation, she totally loved that as well. So it was, you know, an idolization of everything. And, you know, I had an Instagram post where I was meditating that she took a picture of and put it beside her fucking bed. You know, that actually should have been the red flag right there, bro. You know, and that, you know, as I thought about it later on, I was like, yeah, it was all there. It actually really was.
So, and by the way, like, I know this is going to set a lot of triggers up tonight. I'll be honest, I'm texting someone whilst I am, because even I'm getting a bit emotional, because some of it's brought a bit of a trauma for me as well tonight. So this is why I'm keeping going in and out and going quiet. So, by the way, don't forget, this is a safe haven. Do you know what I mean? Please, whatever gets said in here, gets in here. If you've got a fucking issue, I'll kick the fuck out of you. So, you know, I appreciate everyone. This is a safe haven for everyone. You know, we're here to respect one another, but we all do have our opinions. So, during the devaluing phase, you are picked apart.
Mm-hmm.
During the discarding phase, there may be an attempt to suck you back into the relationship. So I suppose, like, fuck, this is, I'm going to be awake all night reading this, aren't I now?
See, and
so idolizing, devaluing, and discarding. So let's look into this one.
Yeah.
Devaluing. Okay. Once a top, I get so annoyed. I'm not even looking at it. I'm getting pissed off. Why am I getting annoyed for? Fuck's sake. I feel like I'm going to cry and I feel like I want to shout at the same time, because this fucking brings up. Oh my god. Fuck's sake, man. This is why I said I just wanted to let it loose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head. So we're starting with the devaluing, because I think a lot of us, and this goes to mothers and to fathers out there, and you know I'm having to dig at a certain one. Once a toxic person has verified that you are committed to them, they will start sprinkling in emotional abuse tactics. They will comment on your body, what you wear, or your life.
Hmm.
Wow. Fuck's sake.
It's
Just memory.
you know what I mean? It's crazy when you've gone through it and you see something like that. It hits, bud,
I
right?
feel like I want to burst out fucking crying. Jesus Christ, I should read this off camera. Fuck's sake, man. See, I'm a real human being. The personal information you divulge to them. Oh, fuck me, this is friends even, you little bastards. The personal information you divulge to them during the idealization phase is now used against you.
I
Fuck.
opened Pandora's box on this, bro. I did
Motherfuckers.
because
And this is why I'm so scared to get attached to someone.
and that's it. That and see that's the stage that I'm at right now is that I literally just went through this. I kind of told you a little bit. Now the ending of that was that, when I left with nothing. I left with everything there because I had to. I just told you that I hitchhiked. So I hitchhiked
Yeah.
500 kilometers. And, it took me a few months to go get my stuff. But you know what happened to my stuff? My stuff got sold because
Yeah,
then
I'm said.
she then turned it on me and well, I manipulated her. You know what I mean? And that's what a narcissist does. You just read it. And for me it's different, yeah, like I've gone through that emotional phase, and now it becomes a lesson.
Okay.
And now, now it's another lesson. And that's why I'm at that stage right now where I probably won't be in another relationship because of now, it's it was hit a couple times, you know what I mean? And
Oh,
there comes a time, dude, where again we come to this whole thing where these things are constantly happening and nothing happens to the person that's doing it, regardless of narcissistic abuse or anything like that. If they started tackling people that were lying and trying to ruin people's reputations by falsely accusing them of sexual assault and domestic violence, they started cracking down on that, we our society would start to calm down on the narcissistic abuse that's continuously rising. It's crazy though. It just is. It's crazy, bud.
Michael, we're going to finish off on that actually, but I agree. I agree with that though, by the way. That sentiment, but in a different phase. But I just want to finish off on this, just on the subject. And again, I appreciate, other people talking out as well. So I just carried on reading for a bit there. If you set boundaries or do something the toxic person doesn't like, they may dredge up one of your regrets in life. They may say, well, now I know why your sister doesn't talk to you. You're crazy.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, good to be true. Like, they, they may, I shouldn't have gone into this today. I don't know why. I'm already an emotional bitch. They may also triangulate and tell you that a trusted friend or family member said something unkind about you. Yeah, this is true. A toxic person may start the conversation with, your sister said something about you, and I didn't want to tell. I'm guessing this person has an issue with the sister.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's also good to be true, but it isn't true. They're putting it on a hard job. Yeah, it is, isn't it? The information you are usually given is usually a lie. True. The goal is to, ooh, damn. Right, ladies and gents? Fuck. Okay, this is opened my eyes quite a lot tonight, actually. The goal is to isolate you from others who may tell you that this relationship is unhealthy.
Hmm.
Damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's true, bud. So true.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So
Yeah,
true.
yeah, it is.
I had a buddy of mine that told me that, hey, dude, like, if she is a chick that does that, I don't want to get into it. But if she's that, like, on a first date type of thing, like, if she's a chick that does that, you need to watch yourself. And I was like, no, it's different. And, then, when they find out that they're kind of outed, yeah, they want to discard anybody that's trying to tell you about them. It's fucked up.
Listen,
It's a
yeah,
fucked up thing to have
like,
to go through.
but, but it is true, isn't it? Because, oh my God, because I know, yeah, because if you think about from experiences as well, you've had an argument. I don't know, you didn't, I don't know, you didn't. Okay, okay. So I'll pick up, a friend of mine told me that his missus didn't want to suck his dick anymore, right? So then he told his friends, and his friends told him to ditch him, her. And then obviously she told her friends, and obviously it was the opposite. But I'm saying it's a stark contrast, isn't it? But what I'm saying is certain things that, one thing I've been looking into more and more, we will go back into this because, like I said, it's really fucking intrigued me tonight. It's really, really intrigued me. Because I'm seeing more and more married couples who have issues. So, as in, they won't leave each other because they can't financially leave each other anymore. They have to stay with each other for the sake of, like I said, the bills and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, or the sake of the child. It's like, what the hell? It's so true, isn't it? And you don't want to ever say anything. It's like, so what? You're married, but you don't sleep with each other. What? Like, I'm going to be an old school fucking asshole here. To me, marriage, that means you're going to get sex. Like, if that we go back to what Michael and I agree with, go get a whore, right? At least you're not going to get a backlash. You're not going to get a backlash. So
Mm-hmm.
what? And you probably spend less with an escort of a prostitute than you would with a woman, your woman. So I should talk openly about that one. I should do. I talk about it on the podcast. Yeah, the financial abuse as well. So the information is like, okay, your partner may tell you that the only after you quit your job, stop talking to your sister, do more housework, etc. There won't be any issues in the relationship. If anyone's intrigued, it's called Psychology Today. Be aware that whatever you do to fulfill a toxic person's wishes, there will always be a you hoop to jump through. The man, as I said, this is like a reaction video. That's what you get
Mm-hmm.
from me. Because again, as I said, it's triggers for me. It's actually really triggering me a lot. Actually, I mean, triggering me as in, was I that much of a gullible prick?
Mm-hmm. I know, right?
As a man, but also like as someone. Yeah, yeah, it really is that. It really is, and as someone who fucking wants to settle down and wants to fall in love, etc. And it makes you think, was it them? Was it me? If I go into another relationship, do I do something different? Do you know what I mean? There's all these things that you
Mm-hmm.
think. The demands are never ending. You may blame yourself for this change in your partner's behaviour. During the idealization phase, you could do no wrong. Now you can do no right. The issue is not with you, it is with your partner. Oh, there you go, yeah, you just nailed it. Fucking hell, bruh.
Yeah, I know it's a kick in the face.
And then, the last one, well, we might as well finish this off now. Discarding. Regardless of who leaves whom, the toxic person will try to suck you back into the relationship. And this is where we go to people who've got kids. Don't leave because of the kids. What about the kids? You don't care about the kids. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
They will,
so what you just described right there is actually what happened with me with
okay.
my ex-wife. Is that was the case. She after 2.5 years, we separated, and most people know that. I separated in 2017, but I wasn't hit with these false allegations until 2019. So, but there was a brief period in 2019 in July where I was single. So my ex-wife tried to be my best friend with again, this no whole narcissistic behavior, right? With the love bombing. It wasn't so much love bombing at that point. It was, the friendliness, bombing, I would say, is I'll do basically anything that you ask me type of thing. So that, I could, in her mind, get back together. And as soon as I shut that down, then the discarding came into play, and then everything else just trickled out of that. And then, it's not even about discarding. It's about like diminishing, destroying,
Hmm.
in the final. So yeah, yeah, dude, yeah. I
Like,
know it hits, bud.
as I said, as you can see by my actions here, they will promise you fit number. However, they rarely apologise or take responsibility for their behaviour.
Hmm.
be aware that if you return to the relationship, the things you were promised will vanish, and the relationship will be just as dysfunctional as before, if not more so. I always say, a leopard never changes his spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can once you learn from experience. I can't be friends with him. So he said, yeah, we can't be friends with an ex. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Even though I advocate for amicable parenting, what's called, and I don't know a couple of people who are amicable, but yeah, not now, because we're too social media influenced. Oh, here we go. You may find your partner cheated on you with multiple people. Yep. Throughout the relationship. Toxic people, particularly those with narcissistic tendencies, discover that it is easier to return to old narcissistic supply, their exes. Yeah, you do. A lot of people go back to their exes, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking idiots. Even if it's for a shag or a conversation or a follow up, you don't fucking need to. You don't need to. Stay strong.
Yeah.
You may have noticed that your partner idolizes their exes. Oh, shit. You may notice that your partner idolizes their exes or calls them derogatory names. The one thing that they don't show towards their exes is emotional detachment. I'm going to bicker a bit there because I call my ex every name under the sun, and I certainly have no attachment to her at all. At all. At all. CUNT. You may be compared unfavorably to your partner's exes. Oh, I hate that.
You guys in
Sometimes,
the UK call people that all the time, bud.
well, that's my favorite word in the
But you
world.
guys call it people that all the time. We laugh about it all the time in Canada.
I know, but I
Like
won't
people
think,
in Canada are so sensitive to that word. It's
oh,
crazy. Like, to be honest,
even,
I'm going
yeah,
to say it
even,
because there are women that are cunts, and they really are.
yeah.
You know.
I don't like the reason is like the individual I'm talking to. I say it all the time. I don't call her. I just call people it. It's one of my favorite words, and she hates it. Yeah, but like I never know with the algorithms, so hence I try not to cuss as much, even though I swear constantly. But today I know. But today is a good day actually. I'm not actually cussing as much as I usually. Like, okay, before we lose traction, let's bring it back round. Okay, okay, you may be compared unfavorably to your partner's exes. Sometimes this is a final discard where the toxic person, yeah, well, there you go. Just put yourself up. You may be compared unfavorably to your partner's exes. Sometimes this is a final regard where the toxic person leaves for good. Sometimes they do this by disappearing and cutting you off contact. They may tell you it is your fault, but usually they have a you narcissistic supply. So going back very similar to what somebody just said there. So I had a conversation a while ago. So this is my opinion. I'm just wondering what people are thinking about. There's a couple who I know, and they've got 3 or 4 kids, and they're constantly arguing. She constantly kicks them out. He goes and lives somewhere else with family temporarily, and they get back together, gets kicked out, back together, gets kicked out. Do you know what I'm talking about? One of them relationships. That's not a relationship to me,
Mm-hmm.
but one of them ones. Okay, so, and then, as I say, I listened to a lot of podcasts, and then it made me think. So then the kids are seeing that mommy and daddy are arguing, daddy's been kicked out. Mommy and daddy are arguing, daddy's been kicked out. Do you think that's good for the kids to see that?
Of course not.
Don't you think that's kind of set the precedence to the children to think that, oh, if mommy could do it, I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm saying it's very interesting. So I turned around and said, you need to man the fuck up, you need to stay with her, or get rid of her totally, because that is not a good example for your
Mm-hmm.
children. And I couldn't believe that. So I was very intrigued. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so one of the best things you can do with a toxic person is to go no contact or low contact with them. Practice good self-care, including letting emotionally healthy people in your life and limiting contact with people who treat you poorly. Speak with a mental health profession, as somebody said earlier, about your experiences. You are not alone. Hmm. That is, and then, unfortunately, then they get with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. That's right, bud.
Fuck. Rich, that's hit me tonight, pal.
Hmm. Well, you know what? I think the next time that we have this live, I think that that's what we do some homework on narcissistic
Uh,
because I want some stats, to be honest. I'd like to know
uh, yeah.
the stats on narcissistic abuse directly, really when it comes to the family courts and how many of these actual because I can find those stats probably pretty easily. How many of these cases that are involving alienation? Because I'm going to tell you right now that I can guess what it's going to be, and it's going to be a high number.
Hmm.
The percentages of cases that are dealing with false allegations that there's narcissistic abuse that's involved with these things because you're going to be able to see it, bud. And that's what I kind of tell people all the time. If you're dealing with parental alienation, you're dealing with somebody that's a narcissist because they're not looking out for anybody else but themselves. Even though there could be that appearance that, yeah, they got the kid's best interests in hand because look what they're doing. They're trying to prevent the abuser from seeing their kids or abusing their kids more when that's not even true. Um,
Hmm.
it'd be interesting to see how many are actually labeled as a narcissistic case.
So from like my quick little overview of this, again, you know me, I always like to read, look into shit. So from my understanding, these people who love bomb, male or female, they look, because as a male and as rich, we've gone through this. This is why it's hit me quite a lot, actually. And don't forget, this live is going to go on, so they'll probably see it. You fucking arsehole, because look at me now. Look at me now. And look at him now. Remember that.
Hmm.
But, so to me, it seems as if, like, they don't stop. So they look for, like, a vulnerability. And then they use it to their advantage. And obviously, tied into the whole advocacy is obviously the kids scenario. They could use the kids as a weapon, because that's our vulnerability. If you don't do this, you're not seeing the kids. If you do this, you can see the kids. Finances come into play,
Yeah.
and this is where the irony of it is. This is like a family court order here, and like the actual irony of it is that the difference is I used to have set in stone a court order. She could be as much as a dickhead as she wants. Guess what happens? It's black and white, and this is a conversation I have with someone quite a lot. Sort your fucking shit out and get in contact with the courts. So the arsehole has to see his kids on a set date and a set time. He doesn't have a choice in the matter.
Hmm.
But what it seems to be, though, is with these people is, yeah, but yes, no, I was going to say something different. So to me, it seems as if, like, they can see that you've got a bit of vulnerability, so they'll press on it. And if they know they've got that vulnerability, they know that they've got you. And then, as you said, then they'll slowly start grinding you down. And I'm guessing, and obviously, again, this is a redundant question, but obviously, I know sex will have a huge part to play with it because then, as a man or a woman, you will feel as if you need to satisfy your partner to kind of show you don't need to go elsewhere. I'm here. Um, as you say, financially, if you were to go out and about, no, I'm a watch person. So if you bought me a watch, I'd probably suck your dick. Like, do you know what I mean? Um, I'm easy. Buy me a fucking pizza, I'll suck your dick. Uh, uh, but okay, Elvis is alive. But what I'm getting at is, yeah, the little things. I don't know. Like I've got the PlayStation, and Xbox. If they have to buy me the brand new FIFA game, for example, then I'd be like, oh my god, I love you, I idolize you. What was that? You want to watch TV? Of course, plenty watch TV.
Hmm.
No, do you want me to cook food for you? Of course, I cook food for you. So it's kind of like buying someone. Yeah,
Hmm.
okay, that, yeah, I can see that one because yeah, that's what kind of happened to me.
It was,
That's
bud.
what kind of happened to
Like,
me.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly how you could put it. Yeah,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
100%. I know that from just the last relationship. Every month or 6 weeks, we were going to an Airbnb, and dude, trust me, I can't afford that shit. So, yeah, it's the whole buying thing. It's a fucked up thing to go through, and then to find out, like, in the end of it all, it's like, fuck, and you were fake. Like, that was fake. All of that. It
Mm.
becomes a slap in the face at that point. But again, you gotta be strong, man. You gotta be stronger than these people. Yeah, it's tough, but you want to play victim all your life because of it. Is that's the biggest question, and that's because of the whole situation with the family courts and what I've gone through. Now it's like, even if I go through this in a relationship down the road, when it happens, guess what I'm doing? I'm
Yeah,
putting a fucking end to it right away because I won't
yeah,
take that risk anymore. When I see it happen, it will end. And as hard as it is, and I completely do understand it, that we do know your weaknesses, bud. Um,
give me a Gucci watch. I'll give you the best blowjob ever. Like, carry on.
but yeah, like I completely understand that it is hard to get away, but there's got to be you also have to take some accountability as well at that point to say, okay, well, you can see it now. You have to get away from it because now you just read everything, right? So now you know what to
Yeah,
look for. You know what I
hell
mean?
yeah.
So when you start seeing these things that are transpiring in your life that are happening right before your eyes, whether or not you want to see it or not, you have to take accountability that, yeah, it's happening to me. So what am I going to do about it? Because they're going to continue doing exactly what they're going to do. They're going to try and fucking diminish you, and they're going to, if they're love bombing you constantly still, you're not going to be in this position right now. It's when you get to that sort of diminishing part, that's when you're going to start questioning these things. And, that's where you have to now take accountability for it. That's the blunt truth of it. If you're looking for something sugar coated from me, you're not going to find that because it's
Yeah.
a lesson that you have to learn. And once you learn that lesson, that here it is, now I see it. So even though I don't want to see this, I now have to take action on it.
Okay, now. Yeah, but yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you see, the thing is, this is the thing, isn't it? There's so many different. Again, I want to say this with respect, trying not to insult anyone, because it is quite a. Uh, we all have our own experiences and stories on, like how it is, and it's quite crazy. Just yeah, yeah. But what I'm getting at, what I'm trying to get at is like, there's different
That's right.
scenarios. You could be such a strong individual. But then, as I say, like you could be with someone. So I've done it before. I've seen a woman before, and I've seen her, and I started talking to her. This a couple of years ago now, and I started talking to her, and like I apologize for my vanity, but I've said this. I think you know me well enough by now, and she thought I was the best thing since sliced bread when she seen me. But I was just went over to her. She looked down and out. She looked pretty down. She looked upset. And the friends kind of fucked her off because they were with other guys. And she was on the phone, so I went over and I complimented her. Said, "Hey, good looking." Like, just a bit of an insight my flirting. I wouldn't have single her. And then, I was like, would you like a drink? And she was like, "No, I'm okay." But she had her head down. And confidence, as I said, is a humongous to turn up for me. Like, again, when you talk with someone, look at their eyes, it's respectful, but it's also confidence as well. And I remembered, anyways, long story short, and I just remembered I was in the bar and I started talking to her, and then, like, she'd have said, "Oh, like, I broke up with someone and he treated me like shit, he controlled me, blah, 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 he never let me. This is like the first time I'm being out, and like, I don't have to text any, like, this, I know it's going to sound so mad. I don't have to text someone to tell them where I am." I'm saying, "What?
Hmm.
What did you just say?" And I was like, "Really?" And I turned around and said, "But to be like this." Because, like, the person I was with at the time, that's what she was like. "Where were you? What time are you coming home?" "I've just gone out. Relax." You knew this had been planned for months. It's
Hmm.
been planned for months and months. But again, as I said, because a little bitch I was at the time and because of my own insecurities, I would respond because I didn't want to argue. And I'd be like, "Look, I've just come out. I'll stay for a bit. Or when you come home, bring a pizza." Because then she knows the pizza shop shuts at a certain time, so therefore I need to be home before that time. Little things.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting is, I remember seeing this petite, beautiful little girl. I remember seeing her. And then I said to her, I said, "Listen, do you know what? Put your phone away and, like, have a few drinks." And I said, "Dance the night away. You deserve it." And then obviously she was like, "What about you? Kind of dance with you?" And I went, "No, because I'm actually with someone." And then she said, like, "You don't sound like you're happy." And then I remember I was like, well, yeah, of course I'm happy. But I remembered I actually wasn't.
Hmm.
Because again, I've said this a million times. I stayed together for the sake of because I was married, not because the sake that I loved her, and it's because the sake I was married. I'll put my hands up. I've said this a million times. I was the little bitch who did it. Just eventually, I'll fall for her, but I didn't
Hmm.
think I got knocked up quite quick. We did the correct thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at, it's amazing how people's vulnerabilities get taken advantage of, men
Hmm.
or women,
Yeah.
and it's a scary thing. And you know what I mean? We need to be very careful. But what we need to remember now is when we are our own individuals. The biggest thing I will say to anyone, if you still have doubt in yourself, if you still have vulnerabilities, and if you still have self-esteem and confidence issues, do not get in a relationship with anyone. Learn, the old cliche, learn to love yourself before you can love
That,
another.
that that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've even said that to people, and
yeah,
I'm sorry, dude. And what you just said, there's going to be people that are probably going to take offense to it, because
yeah,
I've told this to people that before, like, you can't, and especially it happened with trying to get into a relationship. It's like, I can't be in a relationship with you or even go any further with you because you don't even love yourself. So until you
yeah,
love yourself, there's no way that we can, there's no way, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that element of it.
And like, as I said, like, it's just mad, isn't it? Like, because I see, and I always have a go at these people getting out of a relationship. And this is where I'm going to be a dickhead again, and people are going to disagree with me, right? And this is my opinion, and I think it's factual. Don't forget, women have more of a selection than a man does when it comes to finding a potential partner. A woman could be going through a breakup, and she's already got somebody lined up, because you know for a fact she can put a picture of it, a selfie, and a man is going to be all over it. You know what's it called? And that's what I'm trying to get at. Whereas a man has to kind of graft a bit more to get a woman. He could only have a selection, whereas a woman can have a
Hmm.
variety. But what I'm getting at is the thing is, a lot of people, especially when you've been in a relationship, look me, I've got a beautiful house, huge, too big for me. Have you got me now? Right, and is for the simple twice a day. I know, to be fair, I had Pornhub on before this, but anyways. TMI. Right, anyways, I like the storylines, Scottish storylines. Anyways, my friend told me, my girl sent me the link. Right, anyways, right, back to seriousness. What I'm getting at is a lot of people, so what I'm trying to get, I've got a big ass house and that type of stuff. I do get a loan. Um, I do get a loan. And I do feel as if I'm a little bitch. I want to cuddle up, but like I said, I'm not being 100%. I've got medicines galore, so a bit with my health, and a few people do. So I would love nothing more to cuddle up, go to bed, my other half cook me something, strokes my hair, whatever shit, the daft little things.
Hmm.
But what I'm getting at the same time is there's a lot of people who come out of a relationship and they get into another relationship at the same time. And I think the only reason people do that is the fear of being alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hi, Michael. But it's the fear of being alone. I'm alone. If I wanted to, again, my status, I can have X, Y, and Z right now. But I don't because A, I have self-respect. B, I'm a father, which is the most important thing to me in the world. And C, if the right person comes along, then she'll be the one. So I
Hmm.
mean, but so what's it called, yeah. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That, but there's a difference between getting treated. Don't get me wrong. So going back to one of my dates when I was in London, and again, it was very. So as I said, when I was going out. So this is where we get back to the reality of me being a male chauvinistic halal pig. And so whenever these dates, and then this is what's going to find you funny. One of the girls, I've been talking to her for a while. We met up a few times. Stunning. She owned businesses galore in London. And I will put my hand up. I thought she was out my league.
Hmm.
I couldn't believe it. So I met her, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Let me know. We'll go here and here." Okay, fantastic. Uh, so I met up with her. Anyways, when the bill came, it's obviously being the gentleman, not being a man, being a gentleman, because that is the way we have been brought up. Okay, so I tell you about that. But she got the bill, So she turned around, she goes, I'll pay for this because I get paid more than you do.
You told me this story.
I was
know.
like, damn. Right?
Wow.
My penis went in. Like, I've never felt so emasculated in my life. I was like, what the, like, I couldn't believe it. When the bit, like, even the waitress was kind of like, okay then, I'll come back. And like, I went out with the waitress like the next day, but anyways, and then, like, so she was cute. I told you I was trying everything. Yeah, passport balls, passport holes. What's it called?
Only you, bud. Only you.
Exactly. And then, so, anyways, we were there. So then, you know, I walked back to my car. I didn't say, I didn't say a single thing. Okay. I said, oh, trust me, it was expensive as fucking hell. It was in central London. It was the Ivy. It was a stunning place, way above my league. I'm happy with a burger and chips or a steak. I'm happy with that. So I was out my league. I was comfortable. But that was her. That was it. So anyways, right, so now we bring it back. So I walked back to the car, because again, I'm a gentleman. I walked back to my car, didn't say a thing. It was a 5-minute walk in, oh, for fuck's sake, what's it called again? I can't remember the place. If I said the place, but it's where Harrods is, where all the millionaires and billionaires, when they come to London, that's where it is. I can't remember the place now. It's going to piss me off what the area is called. Knightsbridge. Knightsbridge. It's world renowned Knightsbridge.
Okay.
So, anyways, so I walked her back to a car. She pulls up, brand new Beamer. It's like, wow, stunning. You know, 4x4 as it were. And then she was like, are you going to tell me what's wrong? You haven't spoken to me at all. And I went, just send me a message when you get in. Have a good night. And periods before that, you know, we've had a little cuddle, a kiss on the cheek, but I didn't. I was so annoyed at myself. But again, I don't know this woman. I'm not emotionally involved in this woman to kind of voice my honest opinion. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Mm.
So I turned around. So anyways, then she goes, no, you're going to. So I went to walk up and she grabbed me. And she was like, please, will you tell me what's happened? I was like, what? She goes, I had so much fun in there. I thought to myself, are we living worlds apart? What on earth is going on?
Yeah.
Right? It was like she was trying to be someone she's not. So I said to her, okay, do you want me to let it out? Are you sure? Okay. You have just emasculated the fuck out of me. You just made me like a little bitch. No one has ever made me out to be like that. I said, you know I had a couple of dates, and that's why you want to meet me today, because your words were like, I'm better than the rest. And I said, and I like that. It's like, okay. I said, I'll be honest with you, I was looking forward to it. I've spoken to you quite a few times. They said, this is what you did. You made me, like I said, I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you've got. I don't care what you drive. You don't talk to someone like that, especially if you see potential with this person.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you might get away. I said, I'm not one of your fucking staff, and I'm not one of your fucking guys. Don't ever talk to me like that again. And then I went, shut up, didn't say a single thing. and then I said, just let me know that you get home safe, because it was late at night. I fucked off, I got the tube. Long story short, when you get the tube, there's no signal, you're underground. And eventually I got home, like I got back to where I am. And then all of a sudden my phone, ping, 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 ping. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And it was there, she obviously WhatsApp, she left me voice notes, she left me messages, she left me videos. What is going on? Long story short, she turned around and said that she was married and she was in a relationship for X amount of years. And the guy actually quit his job to stay at home and leech off her. So therefore her insecurities were with men. Mm. So she felt as if she needed to take it upon herself every time she went out, is to take charge. And she's never had a man take charge before. And what was the crazy thing? And I'm going to speak like a boil here. She was like moist. Mm. Like, she was soaking. Because of the way that I spoken to her. I was like, huh? What the fuck? What? Because I told my opinion. Mm-hmm. She was like, I'll come and see you now if you want. No, you won't. It's okay. Because again, when you were in London, the other traffic's so ridiculous. Like she was there, I went, no, you won't. I said, she kept pestering me. I said, listen, worlds apart. I got to see you. And I said, if that's what you want someone in life, that's entirely up to you. But that's not me. Anyways, getting to it. Then, on the waitress was cute, by the way, but she was a bit boring. She was Scandinavian, so I couldn't quite understand her. But she was pretty to look at. The last girl, because I'm all about diversity, I thought I'll go on a date with a fat chick. Why not? Like, so, she was bubbly. Obviously, she was bubbly. She was cute. We had a good fun. Anyways, what I'm getting at is, when the bill came, she actually said, out of all the dates that I did, the 7 previous dates, the 8 previous dates, the 9 previous dates, bar the other one, she goes, how about we go 50-50? So the date to me wasn't all that.
Yeah.
Like, so then obviously when the bill came, and then, then she come in, got the bill, so I by default went to get my phone. And then she said, I looked up and I went, what was that? She goes, oh, well, we'll split the bill, we're there together. She goes, I don't mind. All right, Nat, this is where I'm a dickhead, okay? I'll put my hands up, I don't care. And like, so I turned about, I was like, okay. I went, I think she said, out of everyone, I went, Nat. And like, that was the money. We'll be able to fucking find it. But then the thing was, I turned around and I was like, and she goes, okay, how about you get this and I'll get dessert? Out of the only person. And I was like, okay, only person. And I was like, wow. And I was kind of like blown over because like a rolled over the fat bitch. But anyways, what I'm getting at is like, it was quite amusing the fact that the food was all like, the food was nice. I'm saying that the date was kind of average, but we went up for food. But what I'm trying to get at is this is a woman who was so full of confidence. And like, you know what I mean? Wasn't the best looking, but then I went with a woman who was, if I showed you a picture of her, oh my God, you'd be like, Riz fucking married a bitch. Like, she was stunning, she was amazing. Like, amazing to look at. But as I said, as an individual, yeah, I was no comment. But what I'm trying to get at these days is like, again, I'm not saying I'm special by all means, but what I'm trying to get at is like, it was amazing to see someone's confidence levels. What I'm trying to get at again is behind the individual, you don't actually know what is going on. So we talk about securities and insecurities. So this fatty was clearly comfortable within herself. But then you would actually absolute babe who was the most insecure little bitch in the world.
Yeah.
And it just, like, this is what I mean. I was just perplexed and I was just sat back and I was like, okay. And then I remembered, I got back to my hotel eventually and I was worn out. I was slightly bankrupt because I paid for nearly any bill. But then it was amusing to see, because I don't really text people. I wait for them to text me, cliche. And then it was amusing who messaged me, who wants to see me again, who didn't. And that was quite good.
Yeah.
Who was appreciative, who was thankful. But the point of the story was this little social exercise is the majority of these girls just want a free date, just wanted free food. And I would say 70% of them wanted to fuck. I didn't. I just wanted to see what it was like. Like, I just wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very, again, when I'm in London, I'm with family, so I can't mess about anyway, but I can, but whatever. But I just wanted to see myself. Because again, obviously being social media and the DMs and everything that you get, and I just want to see, because you see it more and more, you see lots of things on social media, and I'm kind of intrigued. I'm like, nah, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. And then when I realised, when I'm on these dates, and then when I got the responses, they're like, oh, do you want me to come round? Oh, fuck. Should we go back to yours, or do you want to come back to mine? What? And like, no, I know, but that's the thing. It's not like jokes aside. If you can take the piss out of someone, do it. But I know you've got a good heart, and there's everyone here. But what I'm getting at is now is because of social media acceptance. Now there we go. Going back to what Michael and me and you said, a couple of other people. You can get an escort, you can get a prostitute, and it's going to cost you cheaper. Because technically, you're in a relationship, it's about sexual satisfaction, sexual desires. You're helping each other out. You could have that with a quickie, pay for an hour, what the fuck ever it is, right? And again, you don't have to text them to tell them where you are. You don't have to text them good night, text them good morning or nothing. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at?
I do, yes.
There's no backlash or nothing. So like, so even though we joked about one night stands or sorry, not one night stands, even that comes with fucking backlash, but an escort or a prostitute or whatever you want to call it, why not?
Yeah,
At least they're going to get the money and they're never going to see you again.
yeah. Or
Whereas if
you,
you fuck a bitch, 9 months later, you're paying money for the rest of your life.
I don't know, or you just avoid all that shit together. That's
Yeah,
just
well,
my
yeah.
piece on that, and we're good with that. But yeah, bro, we got to start wrapping this up. It's 9 o'clock. But I want to again make this a regular thing, dude, because
No,
again, it's
exactly.
important, and I think it's important, when we get people involved and people
Mm,
see that it is it's a common thing, dude, that's happening. It just is. So
yeah,
yeah, buddy,
exactly.
it's always a pleasure, bud.
Well, not the devil used to, but he should have the coffee shop that day. So there you go. But no, no, and there you go, Natalie. I think next time I'll cuddle you, okay, if I'm allowed. But we'll take video evidence. We'll take video evidence. Right.
Yeah.
um, but no, brother, no, I love you. I appreciate you as usual. As I said, like I'm probably going to go downstairs and probably watch TV for a bit. Or I might start googling prostitutes while there. uh, but no, no, no. I appreciate you, and yes, we will contact. So we'll sort things out. But as I said, you're going to as I said, that love bombing thing is like it's it's honestly hit me. It really, really has because I wasn't expecting just a personal. I think you realise, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, Michael, as I said, next time we do it, us three will jump on because I just feel sometimes like maybe if we can try to get a panel involved, I just think it might be more intriguing and more interesting. If we can get a panel involved, it's always kind of good to get different opinions.
Well,
But yeah, do it.
I have an idea, and we're going to talk about that in a couple of
Okay,
weeks.
brother. Well, yeah, do it. I love you, as usual. Let me know when you've watched me.
Yeah, I will, but I promise, I swear to God, you blew on me twice on this one. I get it. I'll watch it for sure. I'm going to let you know for sure.
Yeah, and then, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just keep being positive, keep being amazing. And if anybody knows any whores out there, contact me. I mean, just so I can be made aware of what to keep an eye out for, for research purposes.
Yeah, you've done enough experimenting, bud.
I love you. Oh, but Natalie, thank you so much. I'll let you wrap up, bitch.
All right, I appreciate it, bud. I love you too, dude. And yeah, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Nat. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody. Adele. Who else was there? Everybody else that tuned in tonight, I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure talking with my buddy Riz. Again, I'm just a Canadian dad. As you can see, I'm just a normal guy. I haven't changed. I'll never will change. This is what I brought this to do, which was to create unity, to bring awareness, but most importantly was to start taking action. And again, we can have these conversations all the time, but there comes a point in time when we have to start again taking these lessons, and we obviously have to be stronger, and we have to start taking accountability where others won't take accountability. And I tell people all the time that karma is real, and karma is one of the most patient gangsters that there is. So your karma will come. To the people out there that have supported me over the last 4 years, I appreciate it. The last month has been pretty hectic when it comes to getting everything going. I've had a lot of changes within the last couple of months. When it comes to a father's truth, I don't want to steer off the path that I have been chosen and been brought as a leader to do. So I'm going to continue on with that as I see fit. And that is to continue bringing awareness, continue with these talks, and let everybody know that you're not alone. Because I know that narcissistic abuse, like we talked about tonight, it can be a tough thing, and it is a fucking tough thing to escape. And it can be a slap in the face when you've gone through it a couple of times. But again, we come back to accountability. So take it from me, is that you need to be stronger, and you can get through it, because I did. I hitchhiked 500 kilometers to get away from it. So if I can do it, and I can still be here, and I can still talk about it, and I can still help people, so can you. So again, I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much. And we'll see you the next time on the Truth Vault, which will be next week. I have a whole lineup of guests that I'm going to be releasing on the weekend. We're going to try and have 3 lives next week. And I want to do that because it's been a year since I talked to my kids, and I wasn't going to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up right now while I end. As it's been a year since I have spoken or seen my kids. And it's been a tough year. It's been a lot of up and down battles, but I'm still here. Again, we talked about it before, is that you have to take accountability for things. And, there are some things that I do need to take accountability for. And I do take accountability for that. So we will continue fighting. We'll continue doing these lives. And, the guests that I have coming on have all been here. And that's why I started this in the first place, is to, again, let everybody have their opinions and share their stories, because it is important. But there's more importance when it comes to, standing up for what's right. And that's a promise that I made to my kids. And that is the only promise that I made to them, was that I will make this right. And I will. And we all will. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Enough is enough. And remember, we are coming. See you next time.